So we're only a few days before UFC 324 takes place, and it's going to be the first card on Paramount. So this is actually kind of exciting. I can't wait for this card. I've been waiting for so long. And yeah, let's get to discussing the first one on the card. Adam FUGITT versus Ty Miller. Is it Tay? Is it Ty? I don't know. It's Miller something. So I'm going to go with Miller on this. I saw his LFA fights and he's not insane, but Adam FUGITT has lost a lot recently and he's not that durable, and Miller is actually kind of decent on the feet, what I've seen of him, and he's also like 6'2", so I can still see him like catching him, especially one of his KOs. He got like a 1-2 and then he just put the guy out cold, and I could just see Adam FUGITT going out like that. So I got Miller first round KO, or maybe even in the second round. So that's my prediction for that fight. Now moving on, Ricky TURCIOS versus Cameron Smotherman. I'm gonna go with Smotherman on this one. TURCIOS hasn't really been that crazy, other than freaking, I can't really name a time where he looked good in the fight. The only thing that kind of stands out when he just came in aggressive against Raul Rosas Jr. Other than that, he hasn't really done anything. He kind of lost a lot, and he's like 35. So I'm going to go with Smotherman. But then again, Smotherman hasn't really been that crazy. But like, he beat Jake Hagley though on short notice. But then again, Jake Hagley isn't that great either. Oh, I don't know. It's kind of a 50-50 kind of, but Ricky TURCIOS isn't really that crazy. So I'm going to go with Cameron Smotherman beating him by decision. I think that's going to be like a non-eventful fight, nothing really that crazy, and Smotherman just wins, just off of being slightly better as a fighter. And that's pretty much for that fight. Now let's move on to the next one. Josh HOKIT versus Denzel Freeman. I'm going to go with Josh HOKIT on this one. Don't get me wrong though, I'm not that confident in the pick, because I do think Denzel is actually a really good fighter, especially on the regional scenes. I think he fought in LFA. He's pretty good there, but then his UFC debut, it wasn't the best because he didn't really do anything in the fight, and that's what worries me. I feel like he's not going to be as active as he should be. I do think he's better on the feet, but I feel like HOKIT could eventually get it down and outlast the Storm in round 1 and take him down in round 2 and probably ground and pound him. That's how I think the fight is going to go. It could be a boring decision because Freeman does have decent takedown defense, but I think he did get taken down in the regional scene. So I don't know. It's very 50-50. I don't mind whoever you guys pick on this one, but I am going to go with HOKIT on this one. Anyways, moving on to the next one, Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. I'm going to go with Alexander Hernandez on this one. I could so see him getting fraud checked though, I'm not going to lie to you, because Michael Johnson is fast even though he is old, but Alexander Hernandez has been taking out all the youngs lately. So he took out Diego Ferreira, who knocked out Michael Johnson, by the way. So I don't know. I could see Michael Johnson maybe winning, but I think I'm going to go with Alexander Hernandez for now. I feel like he's a safe pick in my opinion, but I could also see him losing. But he is the younger opponent, and he does still have KO power. So I think he's going to chin Michael Johnson in the first 2 rounds, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Alexander Hernandez winning this fight by KO in the second round. So anyways, now moving on, Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. I'm going to go with Charles Johnson on this one, KOing Alex Perez, bro. Alex Perez is pretty decent, but at the same time, every time he has like a big fight, he always loses. But then again, is Charles Johnson really that big of a big fight? But I don't know. I just think Charles Johnson is the better fighter. He knocked out Joshua Van. He also has some decent wins in there, but he does have a grappling problem. Maybe Alex Perez could get him on that, but at the same time, I do think he's improved somewhat on the grappling. I don't feel like Alex Perez's grappling is that dominant for me to worry about Charles Johnson in this matchup. So I'm going to go with Charles Johnson, either knocking him out in the second round or at least winning a decision here. So anyways, now moving on to the next one, Nikita Krylov versus Mariusz Pukauskas. I'm gonna go with Pukauskas on this one, bro. Picking Krylov in the big 2026 is crazy. Like, I know Krylov was good at one point, but like, wrap it up, bro. It's kind of a wrap now. Like, I used to like Krylov, but like, he is not winning another fight ever, bro. Especially the way he comes in. Like, you're not gonna win a fight swinging like no tomorrow. You're not DDP in his prime. Like, you gotta pack it up, man. Like, we need you to like retrain or something, because that's the only way you're gonna win another fight. It's kind of sad to see you how you're going right now. So I'm gonna go Bukowski's knocking him out or something in the second round. No, I'm gonna go first round, because I could just so see Krylov doing the same thing and getting KO. So I'm gonna go with Bukowski's KOing Krylov in the first round. Man, I like Krylov, but damn, bro. All right, let's move on to the next one. Gautier versus Andre Pulyev. I'm gonna go with Gautier on this one. This is kind of a lamb to slaughter. It's like if they put me in there. However, Pulyev would do kind of decent in the first round and then he'll eventually get finished, but he's not that bad on the feet. It's just he doesn't have the physicality, he doesn't have the power to get respect. He's just gonna be technical for a bit and then eventually he'll get KO'd by Gautier. It's kind of sad, but like he was terrified to engage with Chris Duncan on the feet, so it's kind of a rap because Gautier will put you out cold. It's unfair because every time I see somebody get punched by Gautier, I said this before, like they always go ugh, like every time. There's never been an instant where like they didn't go ugh. But then again, they're not the best level of comp. Even PULYAEV isn't that great, but he's better than the opponents he's been fighting recently. So Gautier will knock him out in the first round, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. I feel so bad for anybody that fight Gautier, bro. Like it's generally unfair the power he has in his hands, bro. It's so unfair, but yeah, Gautier would knock him out in the first round. So now moving on to the next one, UMAR Monagranetto. What the freak? I said that name right so many times. I don't know why I messed up, but UMAR Nurmagomedov versus Deiveson Figueiredo. I still don't think I said that name right. I know who Umar is. It's just I don't know why my tongue is not working right now. But yeah, Deiveson Figueiredo versus Umar. I think I'm going to go with Umar on this one. He's the better striker of the two. He's clearly better pretty much. I don't know what Figgy has over him other than power. But he's undersized at bantamweight. He's not that technical on the feet. His grappling isn't as dominant as Umar's. So it's kind of a mismatch here. Like I know a lot of people complain that like Deiveson Figueiredo was a big underdog. But like I don't know what he could really do other than knocking him out in the first 2 rounds. It's kind of sad to see Figgy go out like this, but I got Nurmagomedov beating him anyways he wants. Like I don't know what Figgy could do. I'm a big Figgy fan, but I just can't see him winning this fight, especially when I saw Corey Sandhagen win the grappling exchanges against him. So I like Figgy, but I think he will get finished in the first 2 rounds or a dominant decision by Umar. That's my prediction for this fight. So now moving on to the main card. Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. Now this is the matchup I am so worried for because I am not confident in the pick at all. I am going with Arnold Allen. I know it's a crazy take, but Allen is very good. However, the only concern I have is when he runs in, he is there to get chinned. That is the problem I have with picking Arnold Allen. However, I'm still picking him. I still think he's a good fighter, and I think he will win this 3-round fight. However, it's not guaranteed that he will. So, if I had to be somebody to pick somebody, it would be Gene Silva. But I'm picking Allen because I like Allen. I really do. I think he's a really good fighter, and people underestimate him. But this one's a bit tricky for Allen. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go with Allen. I think he's really good. He's probably the best striker Gene Silva has fought so far, though. So, I don't know. Maybe Allen could give him tricks, and I just think he's really good, man. He's so good, man. Arnold Allen, man. When he has 2 hands, man, he could give anybody a fight, man. He didn't do that badly against Holloway. He was arguably winning the 5th round until the knockdown. Like that's pretty impressive. So I can't wait for this matchup. It's probably the most intriguing fight for me on this card. So I'm gonna go Allen beating Gene Silva by a 3-round decision. I think he's gonna have struggle early, but then he's gonna start to get Gene Silva and just outpoint him and just be a better striker of the two. And that's my opinion. Is it the most likely one? Probably not. I'm not going to cap with you, but still, I'm going to go with Allen beating Gene Silva by a 3-round decision. So now moving on to the next one. Natalia Silva versus Rose. I'm going to go with Natalia Silva on this one. I just think she's a better striker of the two. However, I am worried that Rose will shoot and take down Natalia Silva, but I feel like it's going to be very hard for her to do that when Natalia Silva is very good on the back foot. Plus, she's Brazilian. She probably has at least some grappling to defend. So I don't know though. I'm not that confident in the pick, but Rose hasn't really done anything that crazy to me. Like she almost beat Erin Blanchfield, but then she shot a shot and then she lost the rest of the fight. So I don't know. I'm gonna stick with Natalia Silva on this one. I think she's a better striker and she'll outpoint her in a 3-rounder. Maybe Rose could get her in a 5-rounder, but in a 3-rounder, I think I got Natalia Silva on this one. So anyways, moving on to the next one. Waldo Costa versus Derek Lewis. I'm going to go with Waldo on this one. I just think he's a better fighter. He has a better jab. He has pretty much a better everything. The only thing Lewis has over Costa is probably power. but I don't know. I just think Costa is more technical. I could see Lewis looking at KO, but I think the jab is going to get to him, and then we're going to see Derek Lewis against the cage and kind of giving up, and then Waldo lands a big shot, and then Lewis gets KO'd in the first 2 rounds. I think that's how the fight's going to go. I think that's an easy win for Waldo Costa. People forget, man, he's pretty good, man. He beat a dude from Tom Aspinall's team, man. He's pretty good. I didn't have anything ready up, but he did beat Shamil Gauziev, and Shamil Gauziev does have hands. But then again, Lewis will probably beat Shamil though. But still, Waldo will KO Derek Lewis, and we will win. We will win this fight. So yeah. So now moving on to the next one. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. I'm gonna go with Sean O'Malley on this one. I just think he's better on the back foot. I think he's a better technical striker than Song Yadong. The only thing that worries me is the grappling threat. However, I think Sean is good enough to survive against Song Yadong, especially when it comes to the grappling, and at least win a 3-rounder. Maybe in a 5-rounder we'll have a different story in this matchup, because I do think Song Yadong is kind of durable, but I don't know. I feel like he's gonna have a hard time trying to catch O'Malley, especially try to land the big shot, but I don't know. I really don't know. I am worried for Sean, I'm not gonna lie to you, because he did say if he loses this matchup, he is not gonna continue fighting anymore or fight in general. So, like, I don't like the mindset of that. I don't like the mindset where, like, if you lose, you're gonna retire. So, I don't know. That's the only thing that's kind of wanting me to pick Song Yadong, but I think O'Malley should win this fight. I feel like it's like a 60-40 type matchup. Like O'Malley a slight favorite, but Song Yadong could win. But I think I got Sean on this matchup. So now moving on to the main event, Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. I already discussed this fight and my final prediction on this fight and who I am going with. I'm gonna go with Justin Gaethje. Like, I know Paddy has the grappling threat, and I already said this. Who has he really taken down? You can't really name them, and Justin Gaethje has really good takedown defense. Like, I know if you get him there, he has a jiu-jitsu of a turtle, but until you get him there, he's like pretty much safe. Like, I don't think Paddy is good enough offensively when it comes to the grappling, especially in wrestling, to take down Justin Gaethje. That's just my opinion. I can't see it happening. Plus, there's way too many openings on the feet against Paddy, and I think Justin Gaethje could take advantage of that and knock him out in the first 2 rounds. I am worried though that Paddy will catch him with the knee, especially when Gaethje is doing the duck thing he does all the time, especially when somebody goes for like a feint or a jab and Gaethje ducks, and there is an opening there, but I'm still gonna go with Gaethje in the matchup. I feel like he's a better striker. Grappling wise, Paddy is probably better, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get down Gaethje. That's the problem I have with this matchup. When I was originally picking Paddy Pimblett, just I can't see him getting it there unless he hurts him. If he hurts Gaethje, then there is a possibility he could get him to the ground, but I just don't see it. So I'm gonna go with Justin Gaethje finishing Paddy Pimblett either in the first 2 rounds or maybe in the third. Maybe Paddy could survive the first 2, but then the third Gaethje catches him, because that uppercut, man, I know we all seen that clip where he is just open on the feed. There's other occasions where he's open, but that one was so obvious, and you're gonna be eventually close range with him and in boxing range. So I'm just saying, I think I'm gonna go with Gaethje on this one. We're gonna have a new interim champion. It will be Justin Gaethje. So that's my full card prediction for this card. I hope you liked it, and I hope you guys have a blessed day, and God bless all of you.